This is your Mining Disrupt news surge for Monday, May 12th, 2025, and I'm just going to get right into the big news. We are, once again, over $100,000. That means the market cap of Bitcoin is $2 trillion. And while that might seem like a whole lot of money, in the grand scheme of things, with gold in the top spot, we still have a long ways to go. We've got a 10x to go before we pass gold. A little more than a 10x. I think gold's about 23 trillion or something like that. With that all said, please remember that this is not where you come for financial advice. I am here for entertainment and education purposes only. Also, that QR code, scan that right there. Just stop what you're doing, pause the video, scan that QR code, get your tickets to the Mining Disrupt Expo happening not in Florida this time, Texas. See that, right? See, look at the background. We're going to Texas this time. Dallas, the Irving area of Texas. I've never been to Texas. I've been through Texas. So Irving, I think, is a suburb. It's an area. It's right near the airport, the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. This is going to be a big one because this is Texas, the home of Bitcoin mining. Please like, subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything that I'm here delivering to you each week, week in and week out, keeping you up to date on all the latest happenings. Today, I've got a few things to go over. I want to talk about the game of chicken that we are facing, you versus the boomers, the people with the stuff that you probably want, homes, cars, businesses, but you have the advantage of hodling on your side. And that ties directly into needing to have a price. This is a kind of philosophical idea here, but it's extremely important. Next, I'm going to get into a little bit of a woo-woo territory, but that's kind of fun. It's the kind of area I like to get in. And then finally, I'm going to talk about how you can get some free money. I'm serious. There's a pretty major caveat, so don't be jumping out of your seats right now, but I am serious. It is basically free money. Okay, now before I move on to all of that, again, I gotta point you to these tickets. You gotta get locked in. You want to be there. This event, when I went to Fort Lauderdale, it was an absolute blast. It was the best type of event of that sort that I've ever been to. And right now, you can get 20% off of your sponsorship. Now, this doesn't last too long. It's ending June 5th, so you definitely want to jump on this sooner than later because time is a ticking. A TikTok next block, as we say in the Bitcoin world. Now, not that long ago, Josh Mann here talked about the Bitcoin price being $84,000, and he was spot on, basically to the dollar on the day that Bitcoin closed. He's here bringing up a really important point, and this is that chicken, that chicken, who's going to win, who's going to blink first. He says right here, so I'm getting a fairly consistent answer. The first rule of Bitcoin is never sell your Bitcoin. Could I be so bold as to ask that believers in this rule send their Bitcoin to a burn wallet just to be sure they don't get attacked with an $8 wrench? I guess that accounts for inflation because usually it's a $5 wrench. I mean, since you're never going to sell anyway. Now, I imagine some people would say, well, I'm going to use it as collateral. I'm going to do some funny games with it, so I can't sell it because, and I don't want to send it to a burn wallet because maybe maybe not never, but maybe. Look, my message is have a price in mind. Have an idea of what it is you're looking to do. What kind of life are you wanting? Because if you don't know, and the price goes skyrocketing to 200,000, 500,000, $1 million over the course of the next couple of months, years, whatever, in a relatively short amount of time, and you're looking at a 10x, a 15x in your net worth, you're going to be facing some really difficult questions about what you do. And this brings me around to that point that I mentioned at the outset, that game of chicken. There are boomers that, let's be honest, don't have time on their side. You very likely do. If you're following the Bitcoin ethos and you're taking care of your health and your well-being, then there's a really good chance that somebody in their 30s or 40s is going to outlive somebody in their 70s or 80s. That's just kind of how math works. Those boomers are going to want to do stuff with the time that they have. Go on vacations, visit family. That's great. But you need money to do that. And Bitcoin is fast becoming the best money anybody has ever seen, ever known. Now, before I get into that free money thing that I talked about and also how early we are, we got to remember that New Hampshire passed a strategic Bitcoin reserve. They made it law. Now, there's something extremely crucial to remember here, something that a lot of people might not know about. There's an event, I don't know if it's still happening, but there's an event called Pork Fest that used to happen, as in porcupine, in New Hampshire. The whole idea was to attract people to the state to help instigate movement. Voting, it was a very grassroots movement. They were encouraging people to move from other states to effect change in that state. PorkFest embraced the Bitcoin ethos super early. People were transacting in Bitcoin at PorkFest from the very early days. So it's only fitting that New Hampshire, the live free or die state, looks like they chose to live free, was the first to enact a Bitcoin bill into law, which is incredible. Now here's that free money thing. If you're a miner and you can find a dump, you can talk to the people at that dump and boom, there you go, free money. Here's Daniel Batten, DS Batten saying, we're currently in talks with the owner of this landfill and others. The landfill's emissions are on par with the emissions of Estonia, Cyprus, or Nepal. Those are sizable countries. Their energy is stranded and they know Bitcoin mining offers a unique solution. Watch this space. If you're into mining and you know somebody with a dump, oh, hey, that's a match made in heaven right there. And then finally, it is truly insane how early we are. I mean, it is absolutely insane. We're like at the point in the internet where people are talking about the sound that is being made, that handshake thing. Could we change that? What is that sound? Does it matter? Does it have to be that? Could we make it duck sounds? We're at that point. Tyler Campbell here says, it is insane that in-person debates are happening between developers working on a $2 trillion protocol, and the broader tech industry is nowhere to be found. Folks from Fang, Microsoft, Stripe, and contributors to huge open source projects like React, TensorFlow, Kubernetes, etc., are all not in the conversation. Most people in tech are so far behind in technical understanding and appreciation of Bitcoin fundamentals. The best thing they can do is allocate to Bitcoin on their balance sheets. They'll be late to that too. This is unironically so bullish, man. It's crazy. And let me tell you, even though we are over $100,000, the vast majority of the world is completely asleep at the wheel. Until next week.